First off, thank you. And the reason why I wanted Doak to do this is one, because I talk way too much. So that was perfect.
Me and you, y'all have been saying the night.
The thing that's interesting, and we've been doing it, how long have we been doing this now? About 7 months? We've been doing this about 7 months. You would think that we planned him to say everything that he said. I've never met him until today, but everything that he talked about was preparation. Over and over and over again. He was prepared for the moment when he met Tony. He was prepared for the moment when he met Jeff. He was prepared when he got the opportunity to go write. And trust me, had he not done that preparation, he probably wouldn't have won that TV show. And now that he's won the TV show and got that opportunity to get this record deal, he's so prepared to walk into this deal than 90% of the artists that get signed. He's got a much better chance of keeping that deal, like I talked about, because he's done the work and he sees the passion. And you guys have heard me tell the stories of when Taylor and I first started. All she had to give them was herself. She didn't have a single. She didn't have a record. All she wanted to know was as much about those people as she possibly could. And what Michael said that made so much sense to me is, how long does it take them to retweet a happy birthday? You have to call these fans to action. And there's a difference between being active and engaged. You know, this afternoon I sat there. I said, hey, I'm looking for 5 fans. I just posted this on my Facebook. I said, I'm looking for 5 fans that I can interview for my website. I wanted people that buy music, to hit the Facebook likes, go to concerts, buy t-shirts. The reason why I want to interview them is because I want to know what makes their buttons push. Because if I'm managing an artist and we don't sell nothing, the manager doesn't make money either. That's why his opportunity to get with Tony, now Tony's guiding him the right way. That's what Doak and I try to do for you guys here. We try to be that sounding board. Because unfortunately, Tony can't sign all of you. You know, but it doesn't mean...
I'm gonna need a percentage of that.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. But what I say with that is that the reason we started the Music Industry Blueprint, the reason if you go to our website and come to our events, and I bring in the Jim Catinos and the people like that, is because I've taken the time to learn from these guys that were here before me. You know, I've been able to be blessed to work with Joe Galani and Scott Borchetta. So all I do is ask him, I told you, I'm that 3-year-old. Why? How come? Why? How come? And it sounds like you're that same guy.
You got to, man. You got to, because they'll tell you. And you don't ever be afraid to ask. Don't ever be afraid to go into a writing and be like, why is this line better than this? Or why is this song like this? Freaking tear that stuff to the basics of it, because that'll stick. And they respect that, because a lot of people will go in and be like, oh, I wrote 4 songs, and you know, well, guess what? If you shut up for 2 seconds and listen to these guys, you'll learn so much more. And then they want to teach you. And then, as an artist, you start getting these songs that they start pitching you that are great that you normally wouldn't get, but they see something in you because you respect them. You ask those.
And they wouldn't have given you those had you just showed up going, hey, what you going to do for me today?
Yeah.
You talked about being prepared. And that's something we were talking about the last month. It's like I tell you guys, for the songwriters, have your songbook every day. If something makes you laugh, write why it made you laugh. If something makes you cry, write why it made you cry. And then spend 5 minutes trying to write everything you can that goes along with that, and do it the next day. And the next day, at the end of that week, you've got 7 ideas. Then you're able to walk in with something. And I appreciate, without you knowing what this room was about, telling them everything that we've been trying to teach them. And now it's like, now we all want to root for them. Now we all want to sit there and go, okay, what can we now do to help spread your message? Because personally, and I'm probably going to get shot for saying this, I'm rooting for him more than I'm rooting for Danielle Bradbury to make it. You know what I mean? It's like, I watched the show. She's cute. She's got a great voice. But what else is there? I've learned more from him in the last 30 minutes than this, because I see somebody fighting for it. I see somebody that went there and said, you know what? I'm going to do it no matter what. And he didn't come here for the glory. He didn't come here and go, I'm coming to Nashville and all I want's a record deal. I didn't hear that from that presentation that you just gave, and I appreciate you for that. And like I said, this is awesome. Do you know you're recording your record right now? Are you guys getting all ready?
I think we're going to cut the first round in a month, I think, or end of July, yeah. Yeah, end of this month, actually.
Good. All right. Well, everybody here, go sign up on his Facebook. Go get on his Twitter. Follow him.
Yeah, y'all hit me up if you have any questions on anything. I'm on there, like I said, it beeps my phone 24 hours a day, so I'll know what happens.
You single? Because I know some of the girls were kind of whispering to each other, so I'll go ahead and be the one to make that awkward moment. But it's a yes or no question. It's not.
Am I single?
Or are you saying, I'm not hitting on you, I'm married, but there were a couple of girls that were asking that
I'm married too, if you don't want me, then.
Okay. All right.
No, not me.
Okay, so you're single?
No, I'm not. I got to go.
Okay, good. Good. See, he's honest. Talk about it. Honest, because if we don't find out, we Google it and find out probably in an hour. So ladies, admire him from afar, but support his music. And we're excited for you, man. That is awesome. I mean, that is awesome. I appreciate you taking the time to come share with them, and stuff like this will make it easier for you on radio tour.
Thank you.
Because you're a great speaker. You got it together. Appreciate you, Tony. Thank you for letting him come out here. And does anybody here have any questions real quick? Alon?
What's the best piece of advice you got from the
Probably, my biggest thing was I always try to perfect everything. It had to be perfect. But, I got to have this. And if the show went bad, I was beyond pissed afterwards. I was so mad. And he's like, dude, stop. Don't try to perfect it. Be you. Go out there. People pay to see a live show. Guess what? You're going to mess up. Garth Brooks stumbled on words of a song on one of the 7 DVDs that he put out in Walmart. I mean, one of the songs that when he was playing one of the bigger, I think it was when he was in New York or Ireland, one of the two. That stuff's going to happen. And just go through it. Don't try to perfect it. Don't try to plan it. Just go out there and be you. Practice, and you only practice so much. And once you feel right, go for it. Don't try to overdo it, because you can overthink it. And that's what I was doing a lot, was trying to overthink stuff. And everything I did was robotic and trying to think. Just sing your songs and do.
A lot of people say it's not about the mistakes; it's about the recovery.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to make it. So don't draw a whole bunch of attention to the mistakes that you make.
Yeah, unless you just put. Well, I have messed up my own songs that I wrote more than I messed up covers. Yeah, and I messed up one time. I'll never forget. I was in Lakeland, Florida, at the club that pretty much I got discovered at. The one of the big songs that got me known in Florida. I go up, we're starting the show, and I'm gupping it going, and people are going nuts, and I'm like, Gup. I couldn't remember the first verse of my life. And so I just told him, I was like, I got to laughing, so I'm like, I wrote this, like I should know this. And so luckily they knew us, they were singing, and afterwards I was like, y'all rock, because I did not know that at all. And so everybody starts laughing, they appreciate it. And the bigger you get, the more people want to know that you're just like them. That's the main thing. Don't make that, because I think, and you know, and is, once you separate yourself from reality, I think, and you start trying to be different, or I'm this artist, or whatever, you take your wedding ring off because you think being single is whatever it is. That's when people start putting a magnifying glass and burning everything you do, trying to figure out what it is. That's why you don't have paparazzi in Nashville, because these country artists are us. They're normal. They don't separate themselves. So just be you. Do your thing.
Laugh at yourself. Yeah, laugh at yourself.
I'm a dork. I told somebody that asked me, man, these dudes in Florida tell me that anywhere I'll go place and I hang out with fans. That's another thing. While you can, hang out with those fans afterwards. Go talk to them. Sign every time you do a show. Stay after and sign. Make time. If you got a show the next day, have somebody that can drive, because that's the most important thing. And heck, if you're opening for somebody, don't go, oh, okay, well, I'm going to open. No, you make it look like it's a co-headlining show. You make people go, how did that guy do that? That's that connection that you will get with those fans. That's so important.
Well, and it's important for you. Reba McEntire was the best. She used to bring all those guys because she knew it stepped up her game. And here's a gal that's got Brooks and Dunn. I mean, all these guys that are now retiring can thank Reba because they brought her along. And I'd appreciate that. And the fan thing is important. You guys don't understand the day that Taylor couldn't sign anymore because it lasted 24 hours and she had to get to the next town and destroyed her. So it's a great bit of advice. Take advantage of it. Be real. Be yourself. And don't forget that what I heard him say, he's also a fan of this music. Remember what it was like if your favorite artist that you look up to and respect would have commented on your Facebook or would have retweeted you on your birthday. Never forget the fans, because record labels are going to come and go. The fans are always going to be there for you. Jody Messina just raised $122,000 on Kickstarter in 30 days, and Jody hasn't had a hit on the radio in how many years, but she stayed loyal to the fans. And I was looking at the numbers of who donated what. There were like 5 of them did 10 grand each.
Yeah.
That's because she maintained this relationship with these people. She made them feel like they were a part of her. And that's all anybody wants to do. is they want to feel like they have a part in the process, like they were there. Remember when Michael was, on the CW and we were voting for him, and now all of a sudden he's up on stage winning an award. They're going to go, dude, I was there. And then we'll remember. I mean, Taylor just invited everybody to her house to announce her last record. She made $54 million last year. She didn't have to do that. But that's how much those people mean to her, and they'll grow up with her, and the fans are going to grow up with you.
And she's a great one to study. I study Taylor Swift and what she does, because she has that connection, and I mean, she's great at it. She gets her crowd, and where in my opinion, you know better than me, but in my opinion, what really made her stand was when she had that gap from 20 to 22. You have that, okay, where's she going to go from, where's she going to go?
Can she do it? That's what I was asking.
Yeah, how's this girl that just blew up country and pop getting any bigger than she is, and how is she going to do that transition? She grew with her fans. She grew with them.
Well, the example that I like to use too was LeAnn Rimes. LeAnn Rimes came here 14 years old, had this big, huge voice, and she was singing big old songs.
Yeah.
So she was great to the older crowd. She was able to do casinos. Then she's 23 years old. She has probably the best record of her career, and there's no audience to buy it.
Yeah.
Taylor's fans, and you weren't here when I shared this earlier, but one of the situations with her is when we started, all we had was MySpace. We didn't have Twitter, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have Facebook. She didn't have a single, she didn't have a record. All she had to give the fans was herself. So for a year, she wanted to know what they drank, where they ate, what they bought, what made them cry, what made them laugh. So she was able to write a record for an audience that she already had. So when she went gold in 13 weeks, it didn't surprise a lot of us. Why? Because they were waiting for it. When we were out opening up for George Strait, Louis Messina, the promoter, I go, dude, how much are we going to make in merchandise? He's like, well, Miranda did like $1,500 to $2,000. I'm like, I got 2 buses. I need to make more than that. So we were averaging, almost $13,000 a night in sales because she made the merchandise for the audience that she knew she had. One of the things that I'm encouraging you guys to do, get to know as much about your fan. Bigger problem is we record a record and then we try to sell it and we're like, crap. Now we're making them buy what we thought was cool. There was no, and that's why the 4 pillars that we teach: brand, who are you, does everything stand for what you are, build the audience, nurture. That's the part that people forget the most, and then sell. There's 4 steps to any successful business. And listening to you talk, you've got those 4 pillars. You know who you are. You know what it is you want to do. You're already engaging your fan base. They're going to be lining up, chomping at the bits, waiting to participate in your career. They're not going to just be observers. They want to now participate because you've allowed them to participate in your career. And like I said, hats off to you, because a lot of people don't get it. I'm the guy that gets called to come in and take guys like you and get them ready for radio, and I talk to them and I'm like, do you have any clue what you're about to embark on?
Yeah.
And they don't know. And then they get their deal and they lose their deal. So I'm excited for you, man.
Thank you so much.
I'm really excited for you. You got a great group of people working for you. If you're ever bored and you want to come talk, we do this once a month.
I'd love to come back.
I'll end up getting a hold of you through Tony anyway. I'll want to feature you on my website.
Great, thank you.
We do this stuff all over the country. So any other questions before we let Michael go?
Can I make a suggestion? If you're out on the road, AAA travel or somewhere like that, right?
Yeah, get
Or
AAA
roadside assistance.
We're on the road. The roadside assistance saves your life.
And get that, spend an extra month where they'll tell you more than 100 miles versus just the 6 miles.
Because a keyboard player can play the heck out of keyboard. He can change the time.
There you go. All right, you guys give it up for Michael.
Thank you, guys.